That's the gambit. Remove the dictator and what fills the void.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're discussing how Loki changed the MCU.
Aren't you gonna beg for your life?
This is wild.
Who are you? What's your name?
For this video, we're looking at revelations from the first season of this Disney Plus series that will impact the MCU for years to come. There will naturally be spoilers, so don't prune us if you're not all caught up.
Cheers.
What did you think of the Loki finale? Let us know in the comments. Many thought WandaVision would introduce the multiverse to the MCU.
She recast Pietro?
While that series did set up several ideas to be explored later down the line, Loki branched out in unprecedented ways. The multiverse is touched upon in the first episode when the Time Variant Loki from Avengers Endgame arrives at the TVA, or Time Variance Authority.
What is this place?
As Miss Minutes explains, the universe Loki originated from is one of countless others. The discovery of other realities led to a multiversal war in which numerous timelines battled for control. While this is all accurate, Miss Minutes veers from the truth when she claims that the Timekeepers created the single sacred timeline, which the TVA strives to preserve by pruning variants and other things that don't belong.
Is this the greatest power in the universe?
The Timekeepers are nothing but puppets, or more specifically, androids.
Oh yeah?
They didn't create the sacred timeline or the people who work at the TVA. Mobius M. Mobius, Ravonna Renslayer, and the other TVA members are all variants who have been lied to this whole time. Before arriving at the TVA, Renslayer was a school principal, and we're sure Mobius was riding a jet ski somewhere.
Who are you? And what the hell are you doing in my school?
As everything she knew is called into question, Renslayer remains committed to continuing the TVA's work. The game is forever changed by a certain Loki variant, however.
What is this about?
Most of the Loki variants end up in the void along with the USS Eldridge and Thanos copter. Not every Loki is played by Tom Hiddleston.
Which one of us are you?
Coming from a variety of different timelines, Lokis can be different ages, genders, races, and species. This doesn't just apply to Loki, but all MCU characters. If there's an alligator Loki and a frog Thor, there's surely a spider Ham, but more on that later.
I just washed my hands. That's why they're wet. No other reason.
The Loki variant who brings about the most change is Sylvie, or Lady Loki as the internet sometimes calls her. Targeting the TVA, Sylvie attacks the sacred timeline by sending bombs to Asgard, Vormir, New York, and other prominent locations.
Somebody just bombed the sacred timeline.
This is all minor compared to Sylvie's actions in the finale, though. Arriving at the Citadel at the end of time, Loki and Sylvie meet the one behind the Emerald Curtain, Atticus Freeman from Lovecraft Country.
This is wild.
Okay, not really, but both characters have actor Jonathan Majors in common. In the finale, this character is simply known as He Who Remains. However, Majors is set to appear as the time-traveling villain Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
What?
He Who Remains has many different variants, one of which unearthed the existence of alternate universes in the 31st century. Some of his variants are more malevolent than others, and Kang is presumably the worst of the worst. He Who Remains' wardrobe seems to be hinting at Kang's arrival, as both look fashionable in purple.
The peace between realities.
It's also worth noting that Renslayer has served as Kang's love interest and enemy in the comics. He Who Remains' variants were responsible for the multiversal war, which he ended with some help from Eliath. He created the TVA, the Timekeeper androids, and the Sacred Timeline, depriving others of free will in the process.
See?
Loki and Sylvie's presence at the Citadel was orchestrated by He Who Remains, who has grown tired of pulling the strings. He thus gives them two options: take his place as the TVA's leader, or end his life.
Aren't you gonna beg for your life?
Good.
Although Loki objects, Sylvie takes a sword to He Who Remains' heart, causing the sacred timeline to branch out, and for his variants to run wild. As of now, Quantumania is the only upcoming MCU project confirmed to feature Majors as Kang. Since Loki head writer Michael Waldron has called Kang the, quote, next big cross-movie villain, though, he could pop up in Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. While No Way Home remains one of the most hush-hush MCU projects, Alfred Molina's Doc Ock and Jamie Foxx's Electro are definitely on board.
Strange.
Although appearances from Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are not set in stone yet, Loki has paved the way for all 3 Spider-Man actors to share the screen. It could even open the door for Tom Holland's Spider-Man to cross paths with Tom Hardy's Venom and other characters under Sony's control. The multiverse could also introduce the X-Men and Fantastic Four. It's possible that these characters already exist in the MCU, and we just haven't seen them yet.
I got better things to do.
For the X-Men in particular, though, their absence up until this point might be hard to explain. Like, superheroes are idolized in this universe, so why would mutants need to go into hiding? If mutants are from an alternate reality, it may give people a reason to be prejudiced. At the very least, the multiverse can bring Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool into the MCU.
When it comes time to licking wounds, there's no place like home.
Then, Wade and Korg can make more trailer reaction videos. In addition to introducing new characters, Loki might be the key to bringing dead characters back, to an extent. The Loki who was choked to death in Avengers Infinity War isn't getting resurrected anytime soon, but we will gladly take any of his variants. If Loki could make a comeback, different versions of Natasha Romanoff, Tony Stark, and other major characters may be next.
You won, Mr. Stark. You won it. You did it, sir. You did it.
There's still some debate over whether Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is really canon. If Marvel were to snap it from existence, Phil Coulson could still return thanks to the multiverse. Considering what happens to him in The Avengers, it'd be interesting to see him confront Loki again. The events of Loki Season 1 will directly tie into the Multiverse of Madness as well. It's even been reported that Hiddleston will likely reprise his role in the film, although it's unknown how big his part would be.
I don't think for 1 minute you second-rate.
All right, bye-bye.
Aside from the possibility of seeing Kang, it's been theorized that the villain Nightmare may factor into the plot. With another multiversal war potentially on the horizon, we don't expect Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch to resolve everything in one film. The sacred timeline may never be restored as it once was, and only time will tell if that's for the best. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. In any case, the God of Mischief will also return in Marvel's What If and Loki Season 2. Yes, it's official! The finale leaves Loki almost as lost as he was at the beginning of the season. Arriving back at the TVA, Loki isn't recognized by Mobius or B-15.
Who are you? What's your name?
What's worse, there's a statue resembling He Who Remains, substituting the Timekeepers. Is this statue dedicated to Kang or another devious variant? The questions do not end there. Is this an alternate version of the TVA? Where did Renslayer go in her pursuit of free will? What's next for Sylvie? Is Miss Minutes adorable or horrifying? All we know for sure is that Loki has been an essential bridge to Phase 4 and perhaps beyond. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.